And one of the most important consequences or ramifications of gene expression is about your body chemistry. Yeah. And collectively, all the chemical reactions that happen in your body to keep you healthy and literally keep you alive, we collectively put it under the umbrella that we call metabolism. Okay. And that's why we shortened it to call meta. That's really came from that thing. Because this is a nutritional supplement that can really influence all the overall metabolism that happens inside the body. So, this to give you a specific example, right? Most of us tend not to be as active as we should be, right? So, when we are not as active as we should be, because we really should, our metabolism sort of slows down a bit, okay? So, when the metabolism slows down, I think all of us would naturally conclude there's going to be less energy being generated to drive your body. That's what metabolism does, is to create energy inside your body. So, so when we look at this product, and we have been focusing on a couple of natural ingredients for those over those 6 years, and we've always found fascinating. The first thing we saw was what we told John, and that is that it affected the gut microbiome. That's the gut bacteria, the flora that exists in our gut that helps to keep us healthy, right? So we started with that first step, and we found, sure enough, this meta product, the ingredients in it, can actually influence the microbiome, the gut bacteria. So great stuff. And secondly, when it affects it, those ingredients somehow become more bioavailable. In other words, to get orally absorbed. This is an oral supplement. When you take it, it goes through the gut into your bloodstream. And once again, once it does that, it affects all the other metabolic pathways in the body. It just turns them on. Um, Unfortunately, I don't have the slide here, but this data is so fascinating to us. Is that what we have created in a scientific study is a metabolic heat map, and that is to take several of the most important metabolic pathways that happen in our body to keep us healthy, and we look at somebody who is not, it's just like a regular, either you, Dan, or myself, and so on. And we sort of say, okay, we map him out first on these metabolic pathways. And then once we have established and identified that map, we then ask this person to go take our meta product for the next 6 weeks or so. And then we re-measure those same pathways after 6 weeks of meta. We found the profile almost almost over the 6 weeks literally went 180. It looks like a metabolic profile that looks like almost close to a one that you would find in a fit person, in a fit, healthy person. So it's amazing to us that we were able to do that with this meta product, and we are able to now influence the body chemistry, you know, and we're still working on exactly how it's happening, but fundamentally, it is a metabolic product that all of us should be taking together with our age-long use span and so on, because I think it's just going to act almost like a catalyst. It's almost like turbocharging your body with the meta product.
How does this compare with other products in that general industry, energy drinks, things of that nature? And maybe even how does it compare to Vitality in our own product
Yes,
portfolio?
indeed. Yeah. Vitality, we can understand better because that one focus on a particular cellular element called the mitochondria. Okay, that's the battery inside every cell in our body. So it sort of tunes up the battery or recharge the battery to give us more of that chemical energy, right? So that's a specific purpose of that vitality product. when you mention the other competitive product, frankly, there is no competitor because most of the energy products out there, when I look, if you turn the bottle around or you turn the product around and there's a nutrition label, all the so-called energy providing benefits that you get from those products comes from either caffeine or some sugar. Okay, so that's the way they provide energy. It's yeah. If I give you enough sugar, as all of us know, with our kids during Thanksgiving or Halloween, they climb the walls after eating all the candy they collected. So there's a sugar. It's a sugar that provides the energy. We're not going after that. This energy is really naturally being generated by those metabolic pathways we're talking about, and we are optimizing that those pathways with the Meta product.
Very exciting. Clinically based, scientifically based, clinically substantiated, and different than anything else out there in the market. What's the launch date, and who's going to benefit from this?
Everybody. And we are going to recommend that you take it in the evening so that when you go to sleep, when you take this particular product, it's only 2 capsules, okay, per day. When you take it, your body, when it's resting, it's much more responsive to the benefits that Meta provide because you're not exercising all the time during the day. So this one, when you give it in the evening, then your body, when you wake up the next morning, you're going to be full of energy and be able to do all the things you want to do for that day.
Very good. So coming soon, I understand, right?
Soon, fourth quarter again.
Fantastic. We're holding you a little bit over. I hope you'll be okay with that, Joe. Really appreciate your generosity and respectful of your time, of course. Just a couple more topics I want to talk about before we wind up the call. We would be overlooking the elephant in the room if we didn't talk a little bit about the age-lock boost device, one of your genius scientific developments. It is really gaining a lot of attention around the world in the markets that have now received it, and other markets are opening soon. What has surprised you most about the performance or the efficacy of the boost device?
That you can, well, on the compliance side or the user friendliness, that I'm surprised. Personally, I myself is surprised that I can literally take it anywhere and use it. You know, unlike some of our previous devices, this one is so portable. You know.
Now let's move on to something else, and that's all about metabolism. And I don't want to get into too much. Let's just skip to the slide here. Meta is a new product coming out. Okay, it's a first of a kind. There's nothing else like it in the world. It works with vital organs, works with your immunity, helps with your genes. Metabolimics. Let's see if I can get that right. Metabolimics. Okay. So it's a kind of a function of the cells, metabolism, and microbiome and gut health. This is a real key to this product. Okay. What will this product do? Well, it's going to help with clarity of mind, energy, visceral fat. Okay, so subcutaneous and visceral fats. That's the tummy fat. Okay, mental. Who's excited about that? Mental fitness. Okay, so there's lots of studies now that getting your gut, depression and anxiety comes from our gut health, and so you're going to find some really interesting stuff about that. You'll feel better and you'll sleep better. Okay, this product combined with Y-Span is going to be an unbelievable combination for health, wellness, and longevity. Okay, and here's what they've done. They've taken a sedentary person and they've looked at gene mapping. Okay, and I'm not going to go into gene mapping here too much, but using a heat map. So a sedentary person, you can see the areas here where these are different metabolic pathways or genes. Okay, and so you can see a sedentary person. This is an active person. Okay, and then and you can see it's very different. So obviously in CPT1A, which I have no idea what that is, but we can go Google that. I'm sure some of you will. You can see an active person that's in the in increases, and in a sedentary person decreases. But with someone who is sedentary, right in front of a computer, not exercising, and takes meta, that's activated. So imagine turning a sedentary person to have the metabolism of an active person. As we get on this list, from insulin to blood lipids, etc., it's literally resetting your genes to be like an active person. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't be active. Of course we should be, but this is super, super cool stuff. Okay, and there's been 4 clinical studies published about this already. So this is a proprietary formula, and some of the ingredients are using a black rice, a black currant, and a bilberry extract. Now, this is not taking black currants and bilberry and just putting it in a bottle. This is using particular chemicals found, which are proprietary to us, the knowledge of which ones are the right ones. There might be thousands of chemicals in each of these proprietary chemicals extracted and in a concentrate. So super neat. There have been 5 clinical studies already published, and it's a patent pending formula, so it takes years to get patents sometimes. And so these are a patented formula that no one else will be able to copy. So this is exclusive to you with the Pharmanex success process.